So right now it's like 1 in the morning, and I decided that I want to tell you guys a story. And I don't do stories on my channel that often, but I love this story about my life, and maybe you guys will enjoy this or get a chuckle, or maybe it's something that you can just make fun of me for. But I was around 12 years old, and it was a Saturday afternoon. I was riding my bike to a GameStop, and on the way there, I was going there just simply because I wanted to play on the demo games that they had there, because I was too poor to actually buy video games at the time. So after a while, I was at the GameStop and I was just playing. They eventually kicked me out of the GameStop because I wasn't buying anything and I was kind of just loitering there all by myself. And so they told me I had to leave, but it was okay because my sister was home alone and I needed to be back by noon, and it was about 11:15. So on the way back home, there's a bridge in between the GameStop and where I live, and that bridge is right next to like a freeway kind of thing, and there's a sidewalk attached to it. And so I was riding my bike on that sidewalk, getting up to this bridge, and the bridge actually has a really steep downhill kind of angle to it, and I was just riding my bike down this hill, and it's a long hill, and I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna pick up some speed. And so I started just standing up and I was just pedaling hard and going really fast, and lo and behold, the chain on the bike broke. Okay, and not just that, okay, the chain decided to break on the back of it, and it actually flung forward, went around the spokes on my tire, stopped the tire in its tracks, flung me over the front of the handlebars, and I hit my head on the sidewalk next to this freeway, okay? Now, I left the GameStop at 11:15, and I remember waking up on the sidewalk in a pool of my own blood at 11:45. Now, that being crazy enough, I got up and realized that my bike is broken, and I'm still about 1.5 to 2 miles away from where I live. And I am just gushing blood out of my head, okay? To the point of where I couldn't even see anything because my eyes were so covered with blood. So I tell myself that I have a couple options here. I can sit down and cry because I don't have a cell phone to call the police, or I can run home. And so I decided that I was gonna just run home with the bike. And so by the time I got to the end of the bridge, somebody actually waved me down and told me that they wanted to actually give me a ride back to where I live because I looked like I was about to die. And so I got in this stranger's vehicle, and remember, I'm only 12 years old, so this was kind of sketch. So I got into this guy's vehicle, he drove me home, it wasn't a big issue, I really bled all over his vehicle. And when I got home, my parents weren't there, I don't remember where they were, but like I said, my sister was home alone. So I walk into the house, and she looks at me and she says, "You need to take a shower, you need to drink some water, because you probably have a concussion and you're probably going to start getting dizzy from your blood loss." And I was like, oh, you know, that's probably right. And so I did that, and at this time, there was a couple phone calls that my sister made to the police department, and I found out later that there were 6 police calls saying that there was a dead kid laying on the road in a pool of his blood alongside of the highway. And it's just so funny to think about me just laying on the sidewalk, looking like I was dead, and all these people were driving by saying, "Yeah, there's a dead kid on the sidewalk," you know. And whatever. So I went to the hospital, and I got some stitches in my head, but I thought that it was just the most hilarious thing to go through, and overall, it's an experience that I really do not wish upon anybody else because I was in a load of trouble when I fell off that bike because I had no idea what was gonna happen. But you know what, guys? That's the video. I don't even know if I'm gonna upload this, but I think it's just kind of something funny that you guys can laugh at me for or feel bad for me for. I don't know, but I usually don't do story videos, but I hope you guys like this video. Leave a like, leave a subscription. It really does help me out. I will see you guys later. I had the original Atari or the NES games because I'm not that old. I'm also not that young. I'm 22 years old. So my era was the early